Making a haft for this guy. I got a straighter one in the woods today. Bax and I didn't get out there till like 3:30, but time we were out there, it was already, we got there, I needed to bust this on. I had to throw the headlamp on, so we're working on the Haft for the Celtic Spear, and it's gonna be fucking outstanding. So I got maple. I can't get this all in frame because it's over 8 feet long, but I got maple, thank you, and I've taken it down to I took all the knots off. Let me see, that's too bright. See if we can get a good angle. This was a knot. It was a brim. Yeah, a brim branch shot out. You can kind of see where it was. It was like this direction. I took that guy right down. So when I throw this, or hold it, or thrust it, it's not going to be abrasive on my paws. I was thinking about keeping all the bark. Then I rolled against it. So you can see what it has. Hopefully you can see what it has the potential to look like. Let's see if I can move my headlamp. Get some light on top of this guy. That should be better instead of me washing it out. But you can see where I've gotten down to bare, and then where I've left some back. So thanks. Appreciate that, Lisa. I'm going to leave a portion of bark on there. I'm just not how sure I want to do this yet. I know I have to thin it down. This is much lighter than, let me show you the other one we got. We got this guy last time I did a live. We got this one last time I did a live when we were just out in the woods and Bax was running around like a maniac. So we got this guy. This fits really nice, but one thing I didn't do, you can see how I chamfered the edge for it to accept the socket. This is also maple. One thing I didn't do, so this is great to set up for the pins. But one thing I didn't do, and stupid me being a carpenter, I didn't expect that to shrink. I didn't leave enough room for it to shrink. So it actually shrunk too short or small. I mean, yeah, I left myself enough room that I can just knock this off where it is, right? And just do one of those guys, start from scratch. But man, I'll tell you, this took so long to get this to an exact fit, the taper, just everything. It took a lot longer than you would think, and as you know, I only prefer to use hand tools, so knife, ton of sandpaper. This is 100 grit. Going through those guys like it's toilet paper. But yeah, so my main thought was, you can see there's crooks all over this guy, no doubt. You can see there's crooks all over here, and it's not very straight. So our objective today was to go out to the woods. I wanted to look for birch. I initially thought this one I'm working on was silver birch, but hopefully you can pick up some of that really nice brown. That is the stuff of dreams. That is the same nice light underbark that this guy is. This is the walking stick. This guy is not straight, and that's the one with that neat gem. So that's what my intention was to turn it into, this guy with that nice light brown underbark, and eventually, decorate it, do some runes and shit, so it really pops, and you can see that I want to do this with the spear. That the underbark is that nice brown. After a ton of work, sandpaper, buffing, it doesn't look like this in the woods. It's gray. It has a gray outer bark. This is the secondary, and then the tertiary would be the wood there. Let me read your last one. The other one is so much better. Yeah, it's so much straighter. Thank you. I really am enjoying this walking stick too. And the thing is, it's like crazy light. It's like dumb light. And this has some potential to be really, really neat. I wish these guys were smaller because I would absolutely love to make these and send these. But I could imagine what something of 5-6 feet is to. I mean, granted, it's not heavy, but in the length and just the obscurity and how just how oblong and stuff like that it would be to ship and to wrap it and to have it as a great big staff. I could imagine it's going to be just nutty to ship. So yeah, working on this guy. So I've done a lot more throwing since I've gotten it. You can see I've just beat the shit out of the tip, but man, it's still straight. It still sounds nuts. I've been doing this the past couple days. Let me kill the TV real quick. I just watched the show called Twilight of the Gods on, what am I on? Is this, yeah, it's Netflix. Check this out. It's called Twilight of the Gods. If you have a chance to watch this, please go watch it. It is friggin' cool. Granted, it is animated, so it's cartoony, but dude, it's so cool. There's so much stuff in here that you can literally learn common knowledge of Norse, history just through this. They're not, 100% dead on, but then again, we don't know 100% dead on. But man, it's so good. I think there's like 7 or 8 episodes, but it's really good. So, and they do show a lot of, on Netflix. Oh, bummer. They do show a lot of that, which is fucking hilarious to watch cartoons doing that. I'm like, oh man, but Mjolnir's dead on, like Gungnir's dead on. There's a bunch of stuff that's dead on. That's really, really cool. Thor and Sif and Sigurd and just a ton of really cool stuff. It's telling me to orientate the screen, rotate device back. Did I do something? Am I still on horizontal mode? I mean, landscape mode? I want to be on landscape mode, not up and down mode. So if my vision, if this is screwy, let me know, please. It's still telling me on my screen, the orientation is locked, rotate device back. So I don't want it like that. You look the same. Okay. I don't know what the hell is going on. What it's saying, orientation's locked device. I want to put it that gets the hell off the screen. Don't want to see that. I don't know what that button does. This is still all new to me, man. I have, I'm still learning this YouTube live crap. You have to have so many viewers to go live on YouTube, but so far so good. All right, so let's get back to this. Yeah, I wish I could. Let me see. I might be able to do this outside. If I move you outside real quick, you can see just how straight that guy is. Just excuse the view for a moment. I have to do bit of adjusting briefly. You like the sweatshirt? I fucking love this sweatshirt. I'll tell you a funny story with this is when Timmy and I went to, when my buddy T, nice to meet you, and I went to the Amon Amarth concert at the MGM in Boston at the Fenway. Him and I got just a bunch of gear before we split. So I believe this is supposed to be a sword haft, which that guy's just fucking cool looking. All a ton of neat Celtic work. And then it just comes down to a point, but really neat. Long story short, him and I got a bunch of gear. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Him and I bought a bunch of gear while we were there, and everything was just mad expensive. So I think I dropped like $90 on a sweatshirt and what? Sweatshirt and just on gear. Sweatshirt and like a drink. I'll talk while I'm doing this. So, when we did that, I had my red woolen jacket on, so I wound up putting that next to some staff that was there. Hey! Hello. And I put that next to staff so nobody would steal my woolen jacket, right? So we got the sweatshirts when we were there, and I wrapped it around my waist. Well, we were in the pit for so long that the whole damn thing wound up falling off. And I'm like, no, I lost the friggin' thing, right? I was so mad at myself. So I called them the next day and said, hey, did you guys find I lost my bandana that was in my pocket too. It was a South Carolina 81 bandana, so it's not like it's something I can replace. They don't have it on their website. Any rate, called. Somebody obviously picked the sweatshirt up and said, score a freebie, but it was like an $80 sweatshirt, so I was so bummed. 2 days later, and I couldn't believe he did this, but I get in the mail, and it was from the company. It didn't have his return address on it, so it kind of threw me off. I was like, I'm not expecting a package. I get this sweatshirt and another one, another Amon Amarth, in the mail. And instantly, obviously, I know who it's from, right? I was like, you gotta be shitting me, Timmy. This is cool, too, because the front has a Viking ship. And then the F's for Amon Amarth, the 2 A's. But I was like, no way, dude. I was like, you're fucking something else. So the kid just didn't buy me one sweatshirt, because I told him when I got home, we knew after we left, I'm like, fuck, where's my brand new Amon Amarth sweatshirt? And it was dope. It was all black, red, and had shit down the arms. Yep, no worries. So I was like, no way, dude. I was like, you just didn't get me one. You freaking got me 2 sweatshirts. I was like, dude, you are a stand-up cat. So, at any rate, nice to meet you is absolutely the homie. He knows he's the homie. We've met in real life. I've done tattoo work on him and stuff. We've gone to concerts. We've hung out. And it was all from meeting a good cat on IG. So, crazy, right? But this guy is the nice maple that I got from the woods, that I chamfered the top to make it to accept the spear. And as you can see, it is not very straight at all. It is crooked as shit. So this was my mean time. This was my, well, I'll use this until I find something better. It's maple. It's hella strong. It is a little weighted. It's not like, you know, a decent haft from another spear that would be a little bit lighter than this, but for the meantime, this absolutely worked. But since I found that guy's an absolute game changer. Way lighter, all that good shit. But you can see this big crook right here. You can see this hella crook here. It has fantastic grain though, like absolutely unstoppable grain. Let me kick this down just to here. The grain patterns on this guy are just the nuts. Let's see if I can dull this to actually show how sick the grain is. This is the secondary bark, the underbark, so it has the potential to be really nice and then carve through this and bring the actual wood out. Super nice. These are just a bunch of limbs, branches that I've cut down and made it flush. So as I'm jabbing with the spear, it doesn't get hung up on my hands. I did leave one. I left that one just for like a kind of like a grab point, a pull point, because I still have about 5.5 feet as I send that guy out. Kick this back up now. But yeah, it seemed to work for the meantime. It was a lot better than nothing. So, and the fact that, you know, I'm not that guy that's going to go out when I have a whole forest around me and go out to Home Depot and buy a goofy little 6-foot, aka shovel handle, you know, to make a proper spear out of. But you can see that's a massive crook. That's nowhere near straight. It goes, but for the meantime, this one was all right. It worked, and I'll still use this as a backup, you know, whatever. I can use it as a bow staff, you know, all that good stuff. I can absolutely, you know, fend off critters if I need to. If I needed to sharpen this, I could do that also. But this is not, it's not my main guy right now. My main guy is what I'm working on now, and you'll see the difference. And to be honest, I thought this was maple. Let me get all the sanding off it, all the dust. It's a ton of sawdust. And I have it so slick right now that it's pretty much just down to bare wood. I have a little bit of bark that I've left on it, but I thought this was silver birch initially when I first got it. You can see that thing's just straight as an arrow. I did leave this because I kind of like that. Some spearheads have a thing called wings that if you're stabbing a boar, that boar doesn't come running up once it's impaled, because boars are just vicious critters. Lucky we don't have them here in New England, but boars can get impaled and they can literally run up your staff and, you know, fuck you up with their tusks. But I cut this guy at roughly 8 feet. It's not 100% straight, but boy, it's a lot straighter than that maple. So you can see there's one little dip here. There's another offshoot of a branch here that I can flatten right down. I've actually just left it just because it looks kind of nice, and it gives me a retention spot in my hand that I can send back and forth. Has some really good grain also. I don't know how well this is going to pick up. Let me see if I can do this. On this side. See if I can do this guy. That way I can still shed light on it. That's a bit better. So this little branch marks. Once I put some oil to this, linseed oil, excuse me, those are the colors that will come out. It will look really, really savage. So these are down to, this is nowhere near slick yet, but these are down to, this is down to 100 grit right now. So I can absolutely step my game up and make this just butter soft like I have all the other stuff. This is where I started leaving the bark, not realizing that, that way down here, you know, I'm kind of going to want to be holding here when I thrust the spear to get, and what's extended from the screen right now, what you can see all the way down there is honestly about 4 foot. So that's half of the spear. But if I'm going to run my hands down here, I want my hands to be riding on something smooth, right? I don't want it to be, and loud. That's loud. Listen to this, right? That's quiet as a mouse. So that's a full extension. Oh, you can't even pick it up with the damn camera. It's such a big, long staff. So that's a full extension. That's how long this guy is. It is an absolute boss. But I left that wing because, now hang on. I left that wing because, simple fact that when I mount this guy, let me get this dirt off it before I mount this guy, I want 100% positivity. And unfortunately in the woods, I did make a small boo-boo as I started to cut this guy off. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see a little bit there. I started to cut this guy off and I'm like, no, wait. Yeah, you can see. I was like, no, wait. I was like, let me hold up and not cut this guy off, for the simple fact that, and you can see I just barely started to get through it. So the majority of this is still intact. The majority of this guy is still intact. I just took a little nick out of the bottom. So it's not even an integral part. It's not even halfway through the, if this was halfway through, then the integrity of this would be compromised. It's not compromised. It's still good to go. Throw my headlamp back on. So, with that being said, I like the wings because if I ever do have to impale anything with this spear, this will prevent it, just like when they have the winged spearhead and the bolts, or they call them wings, they call them bolts, they're usually about right here. They're at the beginning of where the socket meets the actual spearhead. So they're roughly about here, and that's about what they are. There's 1/2 inch to 3/4 on either side. At any rate, I'm going to keep this guy on. I'm going to keep this absolutely where it is, just for the simple fact that it's cool. If I do have to impale something, it's going to stop here, or it's at least going to impede its forward propulsion towards me. And the only thing I would ever really do that with, I'm not going deer hunting with a friggin' spear. You know, this isn't 1840. The only thing I would ever actually use this for is, say, a bobcat came into camp and I have to defend myself. What else is a fish a cat? We have fish cats, we have bobcats, clearly black bears. Anything like that came into camp, I could defend myself, and this guy is just super duper long. He is over 8 feet. Really kick-ass. So stoked about that. I'm gonna get back to working this guy, but that is him full on out there. But you can see there is one little crook, but I'm cool with that because that's pretty much where I'll be holding this guy if I have to use it at all. But this is way stronger than the last one. I don't know, just all over better. There's no real hollow spots. It's way straighter, so there's a lot less I have to worry about with this guy. So I'm kind of stoked on that. I'm just happy overall that we were able to get out there and find something relatively straight. Let me get this guy back in frame to where I was working. And to grab this guy, just left him out here. So with that being said, I thought it was silver birch. I'm still not 100% what this is, but I need to match that socket to this. And I don't want to make the same mistake by carving or sanding too much off, and then I don't leave any room for shrinkage, because even though this was out in the woods, think about it, it's out in the elements, right? It's you know, susceptible and prone to water, and you know, eventually there's going to be snow on the ground and sleet, ice, everything else. So it has been sitting in the woods. And did I take this guy down? No, it was a leaning deadfall. So imagine a tree was standing up like this, and this was the only guy. There's nothing branching out of here. There wasn't a bigger diameter birch, and then this was just a branch or an offshoot. This was the only guy, and it came up about a foot out of the ground, and something another big pine or something must have came over and knocked it over, because when I found it, it was horizontal. It was not vertical. So that's one great plus. For you that know me, no, I don't like cutting down live trees if I don't have to. But this is what the back looked like. So that's why I thought it was maple. initially, because this is kind of a maple looking bark. Just everything about this tells me it's maple, or excuse me, silver birch. But then I started to get into this stuff, and silver birch comes off in one piece. Like birch bark comes off like this. That's black birch right there. And it curls, and there's voids in it, as you can see, like here and here. This is white birch, and you can see it's papery. They also call it paper birch. So it's really hard to mistake that in the woods for anything else. This was off just a nice little guy, so I got a little container out of it. But at any rate, I am still not 100% what this is. This is pulling like cottonwood. It's pulling like not a balsam fir, but see all that stuff? That's fantastic right there. All these little strings. That is fantastic bird's nest material. I do not know what the fuck this is. I could be elm. Like, I just don't know. We only have so many types of different trees around here. This could be locust. It could be elm. It could be, I thought it was black. I thought it was silver birch when I first rolled up to it. These are nice. This is a horsehoof fungus. I always say it wrong. I say like hoof fungus, because it's so easy to get jammed up with this. But these guys are cool. These guys back in the day, Native Americans used to use them and hollow them out, take them like this, take them from the bottom like this, just make a divot in them, and take a coal or an ember and literally, cover it up with a chunk of birch bark. And every once in a while, when you get a chance, send me a pic of the bark. I will. Yeah, I will. Maybe you can do some screenshot and find out what it is. I should have done that. That's a damn good idea. But yeah, I definitely will, just so we can figure out what it is. But natives used to take this and use it to transfer their fire from one camp to another, which I just thought was so cool. So horsehoof fungus, take it off the tree, it will open up the bark. So take it off something that's already down if you're gonna try to bring these guys home, because they're very cool, and they're a type of fungus. So they're like a mushroom, but you don't eat them. They're hard as rocks, and they call it a horsehoof because, well, you can tell. So it will sit on the tree this way. So it looks just like a horsehoof, and they're very cool. And there's a ton of cool shit you can do from it. I lucked out on this one. It was still on the birch bark. Let me tear that off real quick. It was still connected to the birch bark, so that guy's kind of neat. It's the inside of the bark, which normally I take a knife and kick out all the dirt and the guts, and I just didn't have a chance to do it on that guy. But yeah, pretty cool. So it's a polypore horsehoof fungus. Very cool shit. Here's another polypore too. This one is also off a birch tree, but it's not a horsehoof. It's the hell do they call this? I'm having a brain fart right now, but it's very cool stuff. Oh, I almost just had it. It's another type of polypore, though. At any rate, let me get my little seat cushion here and get back to working on this guy. I'm psyched about this guy because it's much longer. Well, it's only like a foot longer, but it's straight, man. So that's kind of really all I care about. And whether or not I'm going to leave this secondary bark yet, I'm not sure. But I do like how this is coming out fully bark removed. You can see it's not straight as an arrow, but dude, it's a spear. Like, what did our ancestors do, They used what they had until they found a real kick-ass, better version. And that's what I've been doing so far. So I am just basically working this guy down until I can get it to shape. I'm not going to make this a crazy long video. Probably won't be like an hour live stream. I got to take the boy out again. I got to go inside and feed him because it's 9-ish. So he eats up around 8:39. They were out earlier, so now they got food in the house, so that's a plus. And yeah, I gotta take him for another walk before the night's out. I have these up on the website. I just sold 2 last night, which I'm super stoked about, but I have these up on the Etsy site. They're Beantown Bushcraft stickers. So if you're interested, I'm doing it for $10 a piece. If I know you, I'll do it for 8. But for anybody else, they're $10 a pop. All my links are on the back. But I'd like to get patches eventually. I think patches would be really neat. I think patches would be cool as hell. A nice, solid, sturdy patch. Go right on the ruck. Oh, speaking of ruck, let me do this real quick. I told you about the homie knives to meet you. So, here's my ruck, which everybody knows, the assault pack, with my assault pouch and, you know, just a bunch of other shit attached. IFAK. Grenade holder, which I use for my compass, and then a secondary pouch, or a tertiary pouch rather. So there's my my 3-day assault from the Philby family of Marine Corps. Family integrated load bearing equipment. So last night I pretty much had to convince the kid, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to convince him. I just want him to say, yeah, Murph, do it. But so he has about as many morale patches as I do. I'll move this a hair closer. He has as many morale patches as I do. And my friend Lisa Silverwolf hooked me up with this beauty, but I've had this guy for ages. It says Moen Lobby, which in Latin means come and take it. It's the Spartan Warrior. I have one that's half, what is it? What's a Punisher? It's half Punisher, half Spartan Warrior, which is very cool, but I absolutely love this guy. But ton of morale patches. By the way, DTP has a crazy sale. It's Dickinson Trading Post. He has a crazy sale of stuff going on right now. So if you're interested and you like Fedora, and he has fanny packs, he has small rucks, he has all kinds of really kick-ass Fedora stuff. Go check out DTP. He's on Insta. I think he has a YouTube channel, but I know he's definitely on Insta. Dickinson Trading Post, I believe DTP stands for. But guy's the nuts. He has some really cool shit, and I just grabbed a little $12 sign that he has. It's actually a Yule ornament, which is even cooler. So, without further ado, this is what I did for the kid. Let me kick this down so I can see just a hair better. This is what I did for the kid. On top of sewing the shit out of this, because when I first initially got it, it was in rough shape. It's a CIF, which is a military turn-in. I had to do a ton of sewing up here, blah, blah, blah. But what I wanted to do for him is make a spot that he could have places for a name tape, like what I was just showing you, the Beantown Bushcraft on my ruck. So this goes here. It's on my keys. I have this on my keys set up real quick. It's basically just a name tape. Like if you're in the military and you have United States Marine Corps of your heart, then you have your name right here. So I threw on some hook and loop for the kid so he would have a place for his morale patches. Now, that's not going to come off. It's beautiful. It's intact. I'm sending this out tomorrow morning for him. But I threw him some extra loop so when he wants to, if, say, he has a name tape, because this is sometimes how I get my name tapes, it has no loop. It just has the name tape. So I sewed the loop in, and then I just gave him some extra hook, just so if he wants to, he can take this and sew it onto something. Say he has a 2x3 morale patch, he'll just cut this in half and, you know, sew these guys together and make the morale patch if it doesn't have loop on it, or hook on it rather. So yeah, if he, you know, doesn't want to throw a name tape on it, I always threw this guy on just so it doesn't look, you know, it doesn't look like it stands out. But unfortunately with this pack, it did not have the loop on it. So I was kind of bummed about that. I was like, oh man, this doesn't have loop. My pack that I just showed you had loop, but his didn't. So I just quickly sewed on some loop. Sewed it in there. So now he has, now he's good to go. And I know him. He's gonna, first thing he's gonna do is put one of his sick morale patches on here and be like, damn Murph, I'm so glad you made me do that. Just because that's just how it goes. You don't realize what you need until, you know, you get it and then you don't have it. So it's like, nah, I'd rather be safe than sorry with this kid. Let me just throw it on there now. But I only have one of these left. Otherwise, I would have thrown a Beantown Bushcraft on there for him. But yeah, I'll be sending this guy out tomorrow for him. So he's going to be fucking beside himself. Absolutely stoked. It's a fantastic bulletproof pack. It's one of the best packs around. So I know he's going to be happy about that, man. Absolutely happy as a clam. So let me get back to this guy. Ooh, some more sand in, some more quick dry fitting. But like I said, I have to expect that this is going to shrink. So I do not. Last thing I want to do is make this too small. That once again, I'm going to have to whack off another one. You can see I marked this. I don't know, maybe you can't see. I just quickly Bic penned 2 little lines in there that I know the depth of the inside of the sockets. It's like 5 1/4. So I just want this guy to be absolutely as tight as friggin' possible and just fit on it well, because this will be a walking stick and I know I'll get fucked with by the cops because I don't drive to my location. I take the dog and walk. I literally, it's right down the street. So we walk, whether it's a ruck on my back or if I'm solo, I take the bike. But we walk down. And the last thing I need is, you know, to be walking with a 13-inch spear mounted on top of my walking stick / you know, spear haft. So yeah, I want to make sure that this is removable. And I don't think I'll ever throw the pins in this. I don't find a need for it. I am going to make this where it's a well seated socket that, you know, I won't have to throw pins in it. I think that's more for if you're permanently mounting it. I don't. I'll literally be taking it off every time we pack out to the woods. So for me, it's just, it doesn't make sense throwing pins in. But yeah, we're getting there. We're coming. It's coming together. And another thing that helps, never mind just, you know, throwing a flexible tape measure down there to see how well it fits, is running this guy in and rotating it. Is that way it gives me the high points. So you can see there is a high point. Oh, maybe you can't see, it's too bright. There's a high point. And you see it's black from the inside of, the inside of the socket. Here's another high point, which I don't know how well that's coming up, but yeah, it's coming up slightly. So there's a high point. Where else? Back here's slightly high, but I want to leave it slightly high. That, like I said, it's expect shrinkage. So what I was alluding to when I said this guy's been out in the woods for so long, which, you know, clearly it has. I hauled it from the woods, but when I peeled the bark back, there was some spots underneath. I don't even know if I can show. I might be able to reach. I don't know. I don't have much room for a 9 foot spear in here, but maybe you can see those. Can you see how that's discolored? So that's all damp. This is all damp from just when I peeled the bark. Moisture was just trapped between the bark and the actual limb itself, branch. I'm calling this a limb. Branches, I think, are only up to like 3 feet or something. This guy's 8. So, yeah, like I said, I'm still not sure whether I'm going to keep this stuff or just sand the absolute crap out of it. But if I sand it, I want to get it down to that light brown stuff. And once again, I'm not sure what this is. I have no clue what wood this is. And I'm usually a pretty good judge of saying, oh yeah, that bark is this and that. I don't know. I'm befuddled. I thought it was silver birch, and it's not. It could be elm. It could be locust. No, it's not dense enough to be black locust. Black locust would be way heavier than this guy. But yeah, man, I am just not friggin' sure what this is at all. It's not cedar. It's not pine. It's not a conifer at all. It's not pine. It's not spruce. It's, you know, not like, it's not hemlock. I don't know. I don't have a clue. And that's very rare of me. I know my materials. I'm a carpenter by trade. I know my woods. I don't have a bloody clue what this is. I got about 3 things to send out tomorrow, and one of them's not yours, Lisa. Sorry, you're not ready yet. But I had a kid buy 2 stickers last night, and I'm going to throw in a little small fun gift. Nothing crazy, but just something fun. What else? Yeah, buy 2 stickers. He bought 2 stickers, so I got to make sure I send those out ASAP. Because those are something I can just quickly throw in an envelope and pack those out. What else? Timmy's bag. I gotta send out his Marine Corps rucksack, his 3-day assault. What else I have to send out? I think that's it. Just those 2 items. Pretty sure that's it. But I am going to go take the dog out now that he's probably eating supper. So I am going to come back to this, but I won't be recording it. So, Lisa, thank you for tuning in. Whoever else tuned in, I have no idea because they didn't leave a message or didn't comment. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I am going to probably post this to Insta later. Happy it's Veterans Day. Proud to be an American, and at least I know I'm free. Yeah, don't ever ask me to sing. I'm horrible, but I love this guy. It's like a little dog in a truck. A little dog in an old, I don't know, what is this? Ford? Old Chevy? I don't know. But I enjoy this shirt. It's a good shirt. It's a cool one, man. Send bark pick. Yes, I won't forget. I absolutely will send the bark pick as soon as I log this off and send this video out. But Lisa, thank you for jumping on. I will be talking to you in a minute. And with that being said, go check out Summon Your Inner Viking on YouTube now also. And Beantown Bushcraft. We got more content from the Celtic Spear coming up. And I do have a new wrap on this guy, so that's kind of fun. Check this out. Maybe you can hear it. I don't know. I hope you can at least. I've been doing this. It's like a tuning fork. It's very cool. I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. Let's put it by the mic pot. I don't know if it's coming up, but this guy is a damn tuning fork. How cool is that? I don't know. I'm cooked. All right. Beantown. Could you hear it? Message me real quick. Let me know if you could hear it. Because if you can, I want to maybe start incorporating that into the video. Because that was just fun. It was cool. It was fun. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad. In nomine Patri de Filii de Spiritus Sancti. All right, Beantown Bushcraft signing off. Have a fantastic day. Awesome. Oh, cool. I'm glad it came through, Lisa. That's fucking rad. All right, I am out, and all of yous rock out. Don't forget, summon here in the Viking, Beantown Bushcraft. Signing off.